What do the Jets do at quarterback? What are you hearing there? Because, Rodgers, Peter King, your colleague at NBC Sports, came on yesterday, say if the Jets don't get Rodgers, Lamar could be another big swing opportunity for them as well. Do they stick with Zach? Honestly, what are you hearing? It's up in the air.
I think Derek Carr's one to watch. Todd Downing's now the passing game coordinator there, and he was quarterbacks coach for the Raiders 2015-2016, offensive coordinator 2017 when Derek Carr was there. I agree completely with what Tiki Barber said yesterday on his WFAN show about Rodgers and the delicate genius not being able to handle the scrutiny of the New York media market. He just doesn't like – he's one of these guys, and there are people like this who become big celebrities. They want the attention on their own terms. Hey, everybody, look at me, pause. What the hell are you all looking at? You don't want to be scrutinized. You don't want to be criticized. And, Rich, you can envision, as a Jets fan, what that introductory press conference is going to look like. Of all the teams in the NFL, the people covering the Jets are going to show up, and one of them would say to Aaron Rodgers, Aaron, you were on Pat McAfee's show several weeks ago, and you suggested that all the people in the media who are making you a villain are doing so at the behest of Big Pharma, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. How can you justifiably accept a paycheck from the Johnson & Johnson heir, not to be confused with the O. Henry heiress, the Johnson & Johnson heir, Woody Johnson? How can you do it? That's hypocritical. Explain yourself. Packers media is never going to ask him a question like that. No other team's media is ever going to ask him that question. That's just a sliver of what life would be like for him in New York. And we should want that because it would be great for business. But I don't think it's great for Rodgers, and I don't think if he understands what he's walking into, and supposedly he's really smart, I've heard that before, if he's that smart, he wouldn't do it.
So somebody in the Wisconsin media is not going to ask him about shooting down Chinese balloons to keep an eye away from the Jeffrey Epstein list?
Hunter Biden's laptop, was that the thing that he said the other day?
No, that said, though, the guy walks into New York despite that press conference awkwardness and starts throwing touchdowns, and he gets the Canyon of Heroes treatment. He'll never be asked a question like that again.
But Woody, here's the thing. Hey, Rich, you better throw touchdowns and no interceptions. You better not have a game like he had that Thursday night against the Titans when he misses wide open Sammy Watkins, misses wide open Alan Lazard, and he's getting booed by Lambeau Field, booing Aaron Rodgers. Imagine what it would be like in New York if that happens. You know what it would be? He gets banged up, he misses a game, and then they put in some slappy third stringer who throws for 300 yards, and that's the new Canyon of Heroes guy, and they want to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. Isn't that the Jets formula? Sims rants about that all the time, how Jets fans so quickly turn on the hero and embrace some guy who just happens to stumble into a good game. That would eventually happen to Aaron Rodgers. If I'm him, I'd want no part of that.
Right.
If I'm him, what I'd want to do is go to San Francisco and try to prove that I can win another Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think though.
Take that chance.
But Green Bay will never let that happen. That's why
the narrative shifts.
But that's why I like. It
wasn't the Packers; it was him.
Right, I know, but that's why I like Vegas for him. I mean, he gets to connect with Devontae Adams again. Adams can't wait to get him. Why not? Right? I mean, he goes there. He's living out his days like, I wouldn't say Mo Green because that didn't finish up very well for him in Vegas.
No, that did not go well for Mo.
No, spoiler alert. But I'm just, you finished your football career in Vegas. I don't know. I guess he was a Niner guy living up there in Chico, California, but tons of Northern California fans would be thrilled to have him as the Raiders quarterback. I mean, I asked that of Damian Lillard. He didn't stutter on game day morning on Sunday. He wants Rodgers. That would be perfect for him, I think. Don't you think?
Here's the one wrinkle.
McDaniels?
I don't know that Josh McDaniels would be capable of adjusting his style to account for the delicate genius and not coach him hard, not call him out, not tell him. You know the first thing McDaniels would say to him, Rich? Hey, Aaron, here's what we have to do. Well, more importantly, here's what we have to stop doing. You can't go on Pat McAfee show every Tuesday. You just can't do it. You can't go on there and answer questions about the things we're doing here. I mean, it's the Patriot way. And these guys who leave Belichick, they say they're going to be their own person. They don't realize how deeply ingrained that Patriot way has become in them. They think they're doing their own thing, and maybe it's a little modification, variation on the Patriot way, but they still, at their core, via osmosis, have picked up many of Belichick's tendencies. And Josh McDaniels knows what Tom Brady does, what he tolerates by way of hard coaching, or at least did while he was with the Patriots until he'd had his lifetime limit of it. Aaron Rodgers has already had his lifetime limit of that. He doesn't want to be called out in meetings. He doesn't want video to be shown of his bad decision and how he freelanced. And even if the play worked out, he stepped away from the script. So, again, they tell me Aaron Rodgers is really smart. If that's the case, I don't see him giving into the McDaniel system. I don't see him leaving.
Yeah, so stay put.
I don't think he's going to want to change everything at this point of his career. I think it's play for the Packers or retire, and I don't think he's going to walk away from $60 million and be, the special guest star to the Tom Brady enshrinement class.
Right. And dude, you always spit truth, but I think you put truth serum in your coffee today, man. I mean, this is you're in fuego, to use the DP phrase.
Some days I roll out of bed, Rich,
yes,
and I just know it's going to be one of those days.
It's today one of those days.
And I wonder, is this going to be good or is it going to be bad when it's time to talk into a microphone or a telephone on a radio show? So hopefully I didn't say anything that's going to get me in any trouble, but I believe everything I said.
I don't think you did, Mike. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.